Good morning, everyone. It is sunny again, talking about chronic diseases like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's, talking about other chronic health issues like diabetes and blood pressure and inflammation, all kinds of things, as well as talking about nutrition and giving advice. My background, as you may remember, is in nutrition, and I've dealt with ulcerative colitis most of my life, not most of my life, but a good 15 years of it. So I am here talking about some information that I just gathered. I was watching a video from Dr. Ken Berry, who talks about, he's more of a carnivore doctor, but he talks about keto and how to be healthy. And he's one of those doctors who went against the grain and decided to help people instead of be the typical business making doctor who usually just follows the rules and does what they do to make a living, but they don't either educate themselves or learn enough or just follow whatever's been told to them. So the newest thing that he had found that I just looked into is that, as you know, I'm very big on eating the proper human diet, as Dr. Ken Berry calls it. The proper human diet is mainly meat and some fruit and vegetables that are organic, hopefully, because you want to avoid the pesticides. Um, but you want these things to be natural form. So I don't mean going to go get pizza with chicken on it or a cheeseburger from McDonald's. You have to be very smart about how you eat. So it has to be fresh meat, fruits and vegetables, and hopefully you'll cook at home. And you want to minimize your carbs as much as possible to getting up to a point of being at least as close you can as to keto. Carnivore is even great too, but that's a very tough to do for most people. So at least try to get to keto. And if that's even tough, then at least try to do less than 100 grams or less than 75. Find a marker for yourself and make it happen. So today, well, in my past videos, I've talked about packaged foods. To avoid packaged foods, it doesn't matter what it is, where from. Uh, 99% of packaged foods are unhealthy. They usually, if you look at the front of the package, it looks really nice. They give you all kinds of beautiful pictures, like it'll be fields of green and like animals with uh, feeding off the ground and all this stuff. Most of those are lies and advertisements. So I would be very careful of those. And we know this because I'm sure we've talked about it, you've seen it. Most packages will tell you one thing in the front, but if you read the ingredients in the back, you'll find that there's all kinds of garbage added to it. Um, what just came out recently is that companies like Chosen and Boulder Canyon and Primal, I think it's Primal, those are companies that really kind of looked at as whenever I bought avocado oil or I bought, on a rare occasion, if I was just craving chips, I might get Boulder Canyon because it's they're a three ingredient chip, which is potato, avocado oil, and salt. So on a rare occasion, I would have those. But what's happened is some new test results came out that their products were not as clean as they said. And of course, they'll give you 1,001 reasons why that's not their fault or they didn't do anything or their food's whatever. But the test results don't lie. You you do not test. They don't test these foods, and they come out with harmful ingredients like the avocado oil isn't really just avocado oil. Other things are added into it, other kinds of oil, without actually happening. Now, whether they blame the company where it comes from that makes it, or they blame some other thing, I don't care. If you're the owner, it's your job to make sure because you are advertising something that millions and millions of people are depending on. we have no way of testing. We don't have thousands of dollars to go test every bag and take it one chip or one spoonful of something and see if it's real. And whether you're lying because you're thieves and money hungry or because the supply chain fell apart, it doesn't matter. To me, it's your job as a company, as an owner, to make sure that these things don't happen. So it turns out that these companies are not as truthful as they said, and it's very disappointing because a lot of us that try to live this life, the kind of the carnivore keto crowd, people who are very health conscious that eat healthy, they had been depending on these companies because they were the only sources of, for example, mayonnaise or just salad dressing or whatever it is they were using it for, or snacks like the chips, to eat healthy. But unfortunately, now it turns out even they don't tell the truth. So, where do we go from here? Unfortunately, gosh, it's hard to know because what they may say today may not be true tomorrow. It's very hard to know. I don't know if it's just human greed that's bad, or our world is too crowded and too much smaller, big companies own it, and it's easy to cheat. Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, the only option you have is to buy your Whole Foods, your try to get grass-fed meat, finished meat, but if not, just meat, and then get your fruits and your vegetables and you cook yourself. That's about the only way to stay clean anymore. It's very difficult to try to trust that they're doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, the other day I was eating at a place that they said wild, I think wild caught fish, and it was a fish sandwich. So I usually go buy it and I just eat the wild cod. And I asked the one of the employees, "Hey, is this truly wild caught fish?" He says, "Well, yeah, it says it is. I mean, who knows really? He's not sure, you know." And he smirked, which means there's a good chance they were lying. So I guess he was just his way of hinting that maybe it's not what they say it is. So you really don't know. I mean, you know, you do your best you can. You eat the places that you're supposed to, but you know, I wish I can give you an answer that I know that if it was my company, there's no way in hell that would ever happen because I would make it a point and make sure that every batch is tested, every whatever is tested to make sure they don't lie. And I personally wouldn't lie about it, but I would make sure that if I'm selling it, it is what it says it is. But I'm not them, and whether it's greed or mistake, whatever, it doesn't matter. We get fed poison and we find out God knows how long we've been eating this with that kind of problem. And one of the problems they usually have is these companies that are great, they end up getting bought out by big companies. They sell out, and then when they sell out, the larger companies have no responsibility. They're going to go the cheapest way possible. They don't have to really tell you anything. They just kind of change it, and then you're eating it for a long time until somebody happens to test it and you find out it was all a lie. So some of the ones that was Primal, Chosen, and Boulder that I remember that had issues. Boulder Canyon chips. So buyer be aware. If you are gonna buy it, be very careful because now we know that they don't tell the truth either. And if they fix their problem and they say now it's fixed, how do we know and how long will it last? Because we're not gonna test till another year or two and somebody tests it. And then we find out it's another lie. Maybe the whole time you're eating vegetable oil. You never know. So, the answer, I guess, unfortunately, is two ways. Eat natural foods, buy natural foods, eat that way so that that doesn't happen. Shop naturally, try to be careful. Uh, Personally, I buy my beef, my fish, my chicken, whatever, bring it home, make a steak or cook it with something. But when I eat vegetables, which I usually don't, or I get a fruit, I try to make sure it's organic. Uh, and I 95% of the time I avoid everything else. I'm a foodie, so sometimes I end up cheating, and that's usually the tough part. But what I do, I make sure I try to eat as healthy as possible still. And I'll give you an example when I eat bread, which I don't very often anymore. Uh, we make the bread at home, it's homemade. We buy organic flour. The ingredients usually three, four regular ingredients like sourdough starter added to it. It's usually salt, water, and dough. There's nothing else to it. So when it's baked, you're getting all natural bread. At least it's clean. It's supposedly what they say it is. So that's the best I can do. But that's usually like once a month I'll eat a piece of bread because it's freshly baked. Otherwise, I don't eat bread. Um, so eat real foods, natural foods, organic when you can, grass fed finished when you can. If you can't, do the best you can with what you have. We all have budget issues. It's not easy these days. And when it comes to your sauces like, Primal and Chosen, I guess since we don't know when it's the truth or not, the best thing to do is make your own. Buy the ingredients, try to make it on your own. I don't know how to make these, so I couldn't guarantee it'll taste great, but people do. People make it, and usually there's YouTube videos on how to make it, so you can at least learn if you want to. Um, if you want to take the time to shop for it and get the stuff and try to make it so that at least you know what you're eating, it's possible. I think some of these guys who do these videos all the time on these health foods, even Dr. Kinberry, they make videos now on how to make it at home and try to give you options because it's hard to eat without any sauce or flavorings. So that's your ticket. Other than that, that's it for today. Hope all is well, and we will talk again in the future. Be healthy, and please, if you need any help or have any questions, feel free to reach me as always. My email is lazaruslost@gmail.com. L is in Larry, A is in Apple, Z is in Zebra, A is in Apple, R is in Robert, U is in Under, S is in Sam, then the word lost, LOSD, @gmail.com. Uh, I'm easy to talk to, so feel free to reach out for questions, and I'll answer what I can. And if I can't come up with the answer, we'll figure it out together. Uh, Two minds are better than one, and we can get other people involved. So feel free to reach out. Have a great day. Take care. By the way, I didn't put the date so I can keep track of these. I should have put it in the beginning. It is August, I think, 18th or 19th now in 2026. Um, and that's it for today. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.